So hello friends, welcome back to ROMcart. Today in this video I am going to review the EvolutionX 8.3 for Realme RM685 devices. The first thing you will notice in the EvolutionX 8.3 is the smoothness. So the overall smoothness of the ROM is improved. Let me show you a quick demo. And you can see the device is running fluid smooth. Although there is a bunch of customizations in the EvolutionX, as you all know, but still you can see there's a hell lot of smoothness in this ROM, and this is the user interface. So in the quick setting panels, talking about the quick setting tiles, let me jump into the QS tile panel. So here we get the internet tile, Bluetooth and all the general settings. Then we get the quick share, which is the new version of nearby share. Then the Wi-Fi mobile data, which I have not added, and all this tile like night light, extra dim, CPU info, compass and heads up notification, and some extra tiles which comes from the installed applications. And we get the performance profile. So here is the performance profile, and here is an extra tile which is the preferred network, so you can directly switch the data card on your device. Then we have the enable USB OTG and the refresh rate switcher. So if I click on the mode, the performance mode does not switch automatically. I have to hold here to jump into the Realme settings. Then I can switch the performance profile from here. And in Realme settings we get a bunch of options like the refresh rate switcher, the MTK engineering mode, the FPS overlay, which works and it looks like this. So just like other reviews, let's hop into the settings, and in the about phone, let me show you the about of this ROM. So this is the EvolutionX version 8.3 Balut, and the Android version is of course Android 14, and the security update is of 5 February 2024, which is the latest security update. And the kernel that is used in this ROM is the Stormbreaker kernel, and the name is 4.14.334 Stormbreaker Dirty. So the kernel is not upstreamed because the latest one is 336, but this is what you get. Now here is some extra options like radio info, model and IMEIs. Now in system we get the keyboard controls, then we get the Realme settings in the gestures in the system itself. And in Realme settings, as I said, we get the game mode and performance profile, refresh rate, etc. And we get the system update option, and there is no latest update. I am on the latest build of EvolutionX. And in the navigation mode we get the 2-button and 3-button navigation and the gesture navigation. And in gesture navigation we get a bunch of options like the peel radius and the peel length. Then we get an option to control the back gesture animation, I mean hide the back gesture animation, and here is back gesture haptic and the IME space. So what is IME space? If you don't know, this is the space under the keyboard. So this is the default, and when I choose to the narrow, the space will become narrow, and you can also hide this, but if you hide this it will look like this. And friends, you can see the ROM is very snappy. There is no delay or any kind of lag etc in this ROM. So these are the settings that we get in the gesture navigation. Now in the security and privacy we get the device unlock, and I have not currently set the fingerprint and face lock, although those works really fine. I have tested them. Now in wallpaper and style, just like other builds, we get the typical Android 14 UI, and we can directly switch the clock style, which is a pretty cool option. Then we can also choose the color scheme. Now in more wallpapers we get the pixel wallpapers, and the AI wallpaper and emoji workshop is also present in this ROM, which is a good thing. Now let me test the AI wallpaper, and if I change the values, let's see it can create an image or not, and it takes a little bit time, but let's see. So yes, it can generate images if you change the values. As you can see, it just generated 4 images pretty easily. Then if I again change the value and see if it can generate new images or not, let's see if it can generate or not. So you can see it can easily generate images if you change the values. So that's a pretty huge improvement, because the other Android 14 ROMs fails to generate images when we change the values. Either it fails to generate images or there is a huge amount of time that it takes. So this is a big change in this build of EvolutionX. So let's move on. Now in display we get the screen timeout, dark theme, screensaver, the smallest width, the night light, and the smart pixels, which is not useful for LCD displays, and the smart pixels actually turns off the pixels. I will try to show you what it does. So as you can see, if I change it to 88%, I hope you can see that it has turned off some of the pixels, and if I turn off, all pixels work normally. So this is how it works, and this is not useful for LCD displays, so I keep it turned off. Then we get the smooth display, lift to wake and tap to wake, and the lift to wake does not work like other ROMs, but however the double tap to wake is working because it's added in the Realme settings. Then we get the pocket detection and the full screen apps. Now in sound and vibration, we get the increasing ring volume, which is pretty useful because we have sound bug in the Android 13 and 14 ROMs. Then in vibration and haptics, we get these all settings, and we can customize when to vibrate and when to not vibrate, and there is no bug of the vibration. The vibration is working perfectly fine. Then we have the default notification sound, default alarm sound, and the screen locking sound, etc. Now if I go to the battery, you can see the battery usage of this ROM, and the battery backup is pretty average, not that good. You can see it shows almost 3 hours of screen on time, and these are the apps that I have used. But we have some extra settings in this ROM, like the battery stats. So this is a new UI of showing the battery usage, and then we get the battery saver, and in extreme battery saver you can customize the settings. Then we have the battery charge warning, so it will turn on a ringtone when the battery reaches a certain percentage that you set right here. Then we have the sleep mode and the battery optimization, and finally the battery cycle count. However, here is an extra option that I missed, is the battery widget. Now in notification, we have the app notification, conversation, bubbles, etc. And in network and internet, we get the private DNS, and here is some preset values. Then in the evolver, we get all the customizations. So in EvolutionX, we get a lot of customizations, so let's see them. In the themes, we get theme settings, the dark theme, headline, body font, icon pack, Wi-Fi icon style, icon shape, navbar style, etc. And we get a bunch of options in all of the settings. Then we have the signal icon style, the data icon style, and the navbar style, although we don't use the navbar. Then we have the status bar, and we get the status bar lyric. It's like when you are using any music app and listening to music, the lyric will appear in the status bar. Then we have the clock and date, status bar logo, and in status bar logo you can use any logo between them, like robot, ninja, Iron Man, Ubuntu, etc. Then we get the network traffic monitor, and we get some options like inactivity threshold, refresh intervals, traffic measurement units, etc. and the battery percentage that you can turn on inside the icon or next to the icon. Then we get the battery bar, which looks like this, and you can customize the color. Then we get the status bar icons, the colored icons, notification count, mic and camera privacy, and the signal icons. Now in notification control, we get the heads up control. You can directly turn off the heads up from here, or you can add the quick setting panel that I showed you earlier, which is this settings. Basically you can turn off the heads up directly from here. Then we have the key lab button in the notification panel. Then in the quick setting, we get the height level, vertical layout, QS header image, etc. Now in QS header image, we get these images that you can add, and we can see some lags here because we get a bunch of images, as you can see. Let's try them. So yeah, it looks pretty dope, as you can see, and if I show you closely, so you can see it looks pretty dope, and if I change the image, it looks cool. I think this looks awesome. So the QS header image is working perfectly fine, and it looks pretty dope. Then we have the show on landscape. So even if you are gaming or doing something in landscape mode, the QS panel will still show the QS header image. You can turn that settings from here. Now moving on to the next settings, which is the power menu. In power menu, we can add any button from them, and we get the advanced reboot options right here. Make sure to turn it on before doing any advanced stuffs on your device after installing the ROM. Now in gestures, we get the system settings, where we get the quick torch, the quickly open camera, one-handed mode, swipe to screenshot, etc. Then the click to partial screenshot, which is working basically, you can see. Then in the buttons, we get the navigation mode, which is the same settings that we get in the system. Then we have the advanced gesture options, the end call button, and the keyboard cursor control. Now in the miscellaneous, we get the screen of animation and the spoofing. Now in spoofing, we get some options, some like important options that we need in a custom ROM. So they are enable pixel props that spoofs your device as Pixel 6 Pro from Google Apps. Then the unlimited photo storage and unlock higher FPS in games. So these are all the settings that we get, which which gives the advantages of a Pixel device to our device. Then we get the Pixel integrity fix. So in case if you are not getting the Google Play certification, this setting will help you to get that. But you can also turn it off from here, enable ROM side play integrity fix. If you turn it off, you may not get the device certification. Now finally the team, which is the about of the developers. So this is it for the settings, and I also talked about the QS panel. Now in the wallpaper and style, I just show you how they works, and the lock screen can be directly accessed from here. Then the widget is pretty normal, there is no extras. In the home settings, we get the Pixel launcher where we can turn off the settings. Basically there is no extra settings in this launcher, so we will leave it just like so. This is the CPU throttling test result that I performed earlier. So this test was performed without any performance script or any kind of performance mods. And talking about the performance, you can see it's pretty average. I will say it's pretty bad because there is no stable performance at all. It started throttling from the beginning and the scores are not good at all. However, you can easily get better performance if you use performance script or any performance modules. And this was the performance when I tested it, when I performed the test with the game mode turned on. Basically I added the throttling test app in the game space, then I performed the test, and this was the result, which is not better, it's even worse. So this is it about the performance, and I already talked about the customizations and the smoothness. So if we talk about the ratings, for smoothness I will rate 8 out of 10 because I did not notice any kind of jitter, lag or delay. Now for battery backup I will rate 6 out of 10, and for customization I can give 8.5 out of 10 because there is some missing customization settings that we get in some ROMs. And talking about the RAM management was pretty good, so I can rate 7 out of 10 for that. And for system stability I will rate 8 out of 10. So these are the ratings according to my opinion, and without further delay, let's get to the gaming test. So guys, because of the option of unlocking higher FPS in games, we get 90 FPS settings in this ROM. I mean in BGMI you can see the 90 FPS is unlocked, and I have also applied the settings in the lobby, but I don't know why the game space FPS meter is showing only 60 FPS. So let me turn on the Realme settings FPS meter, and this will also test the RAM management. So the BGMI did not remain in the RAM. That means the RAM management is not that good. So guys, as you can see, as soon as I started the game, the both 2 FPS meter just stopped working. So guys, let's start the gaming test from KF Mark, and you can see the FPS right here. And currently I'm not using any performance modules or performance script, so you can see all stock experience of this ROM. So at first let's see the arena training, then we will proceed to Erangel, and just notice the FPS right here. So you can see the gameplay is quite smooth. We are initially getting around 75 to 80 FPS. So sometimes we are getting frame drops around 40 to 50 FPS. But most of the time the frame rate is around 50 plus. So we get playable FPS without any performance mods. But the average frame rate during the gameplay is around 50 FPS. And let's start a battle royale. So guys, currently we are getting around 60 to 70 FPS, but some frame drops around 50. and let's drop in Pochinki. I think this will be the hot drop. But I think the military base will be better option. So you can see the frame rate is around 40 fps and sometimes it drops to 20. So without any performance mods or anything else, the stock frame rate is just playable, not very good. And you can see we are still getting frame drops around 30 fps. So let's try riding a car. How much is the fps while driving? So you can see while driving we are mostly getting around 40 fps. So if you want to play classic without any performance mods, the frame rate will not be that good. For smooth gameplay you need to use performance script, and if you don't know what is performance script, you can watch the video linked in the description. So guys, this is the frame rate that we get without any performance mods. So I will quit the match. Now for the installation, let me just show you how to install this ROM. For that I will just reboot into recovery. By rebooting to recovery, so if you are in Realme UI 2.0, your data and cache partition will be on ext4. So the installation is quite different. I will say easier, because from Realme UI if you flash the ROM, after flashing the ROM you have to just change the data and cache to F2FS and reboot to system. But if you are already in Android 13 or Android 14 based ROM, then you have to do some additional steps. Let me show you that. So if you were previously in any Android 13 or 14 based ROMs, then what you have to do, your data and cache partition will be on F2FS. So after going to wipe, advanced wipe, just select the data, repair or change file system, and click the ext4 and swipe to change. Again go to wipe, advanced wipe, cache, repair or change file system, change it also to ext4. After that you can reboot to recovery, but that is not mandatory, and then install the ROM from your external storage, because your internal storage will be encrypted in Android 14. Then when you are done flashing the ROM, again go to wipe, advanced wipe, select data, change file system and change it back to F2FS. Then again go to cache and change it also to F2F. After doing this, just reboot to system. So this is the installation of EvolutionX 8.3. and guys, if you want any videos on any topic, just let me know in the comment section. I will try to make that video. And guys, we are really close to 1000 subscribers. I just need 5 to 6 subscribers to reach 1000. Please complete this, then I will make a special video on how to install Kali 800 on Realme 6 without root. So make sure to help me reach 1k very soon. So this is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.